All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Off the Water. We are here at my bro Chaco's house.
Mark? How you doing, man?
Good.
All right.
So we're here at Beto's house, Innovation Fishing on YouTube, and check it out. This is what he's got going on. A H-Skiff 13. This is the black and red beast right here. What are we doing today? All right, let's set y'all down really fast, and let me see, how can I do this? Okay, you're gonna have to be tilted just a little bit. Hopefully the GoPro will correct that.
Oh, I went to the other side. I got some batteries too.
Yeah, I got some too. Okay, sorry about that. Had to pick up a battery that I just dropped. We're gonna be installing a trolling motor. I did not put one on, or I did not do a video for my H-Skiff when I installed it. So what better way to show y'all what it is that we do to install it on these micro skiffs than to actually show y'all the full process. This right here is the Minn Kota Power Drive Riptide. It's a saltwater rated, 55 pounds of thrust, 12 volts DC, and it's got a 48-inch shaft. And let's just get started. I'll explain as we go. The first thing that we're gonna start with is this guy right here, the quick release bracket RTA-17 from Minn Kota. One of the things that I found was that I kept trying to put this thing all over the place and put the actual Minn Kota unit up here. Like, hey, where am I gonna get it? Originally, what I wanted to do was actually have, I wanted to have the unit right up here at the very front, the bow of the kayak at the point, but because of all the clearance that you need, that was a no-go. So I kept racking my brains, and what you'll find is on the inside of this box, there's a template. Get this undone, and there it is right there. Here's what we got to do. These right here, got to cut those out so that we can try to use some type of a pencil to mark on the deck on the bow of his skiff. And I can't stress, this part has got to be perfect, otherwise it's not going to line up with the actual mount right here. And if it doesn't line up and they're off a little bit, now you're trying to turn your bolts and there's really no wiggle room. So that was something that I learned the hard way on mine. Right there. That's basically where we want it. The shaft will not hit the bumper itself. So it's this solid line right here, not that, scratch that. I may edit so y'all don't even hear that. But now there's plenty of meat down there for this thing to be drilled in. So when we put this trolling motor up here, I want y'all to see one of the things that you're gonna get. This is, take in mind that this is the smallest shaft that Minn Kota makes for this trolling motor. And whenever we mount, when we mount this, it's gonna be approximately something like that right there. Somewhere like this. Check out how far this extends beyond the bow, the deck of the bow, and that is ridiculous. So what we got to do is take and cut approximately 14. That's what I took off on mine. I'm wishing that I would have did 18 inches because it'll bring the head unit a little bit closer in, and we don't have to worry about water splashing on it. So Beto has decided to just lop off an additional 4 inches for a total of 18 inches that we're going to remove off of it, which in turn is going to turn it into a 30-inch shaft. Perfect size for this skiff. He's not going to do any open water fishing or anything like that. So that I think is going to work perfect. We got to cut the shaft first, and then we can take and mount the quick disconnect. So let's get a hacksaw and we're gonna start tearing into this. I'm telling y'all what, I was super scared whenever I did this because it's a brand new trolling motor. You're probably gonna void the warranty on this thing. and I was like, there's no going back once we start clipping wires and removing everything from this thing. So we got to expose the wires in here and clip them. That goes down the shaft. Okay. And then check that out. So we're just gonna let that kind of hang right there. It's not gonna hurt nothing. Actually, you know what, let's there we go. We'll let it rest on the table. This is what we want to cut right here, and I'm gonna cut it as close as I possibly can to this right here, okay, so that we have more wire to work with. So we got wire cutters right there. Do you mind holding this, brother? If you can't see, just tap the screen and then it should turn it on. So here we go. Any final words, Bethel?
Rest in peace, Mr. Motor.
Yeah. All right. Some very thick gauge wire. Okay, there we go. Now, with that out of the way, we're gonna take off the nut and bolt that holds this fella in place. If I had the help of my kids, I could have filmed this for me, but I wanted to do it so fast and just hurry up and get it done with that I decided not to film mine because I just didn't have their help. Go, take this off now. It'll just slide off. It's spring loaded, so. But bring that camera over here. Look at how thick that shaft is. That is freaking, like, it's about a 1/4 inch thick.
Now I see why you couldn't just cut through it with a hacksaw, with the sawzall.
Yeah,
because you got to protect those
wires. There you go. Right there, 18 inches. Here's a tech tip in case you're gonna do this. This collar right here, it's got a flat like edge right there, and that's what I use to try to make sure my cut was just level and straight so that the head unit isn't all like lopsided with a gangster lean. So we're gonna unscrew this. We're gonna go forward to this line right there. Yep, perfect. And now we'll just tighten it down. Once you get through this, you don't want to cut the wire that is right there. And there we are. Remove that. Did not cut the wires at all. All right, this part right here is definitely a very crucial one because we need to make sure that when we mount the head unit back on, that it is straight in line with the actual motor portion where the prop goes. They have to be lined up together because that's how you're gonna get your direction. Whenever you're going straight forward, you don't want to mount the head unit this way, but then the motor is that way, because then whenever you're looking at your head unit, you're like, well, why am I not going straight? We're coming this way. So you got to line that up nice and perfect. So we're going to run these wires right through here. We'll come up. So the worst case scenario, if this thing ends up being way too small for Betho's liking, you just order a new shaft and you'll have to reinstall it over here. But I think this is going to work out just fine. It's what I'm going to do to my my trolling motor too, so I think it's going to work. Now we got the original wiring that we clipped off, the original wiring as well. We're going to take and connect these two together with some waterproof heat shrink butt connectors. Hopefully y'all can see all this. Yeah. So we'll cut it about right here, and we want to leave as much wire as we possibly can for future like cutting or anything like that. Yeah, in case y'all are wondering, that's Amazon. The waterproof stuff too.
So it has to be waterproof connectors because obviously that's going to be
in
the water.
It's
going to
be in the water. It's going to get splashed. It'll get rained on, and you don't. I mean, unless you want to keep digging back underneath inside the head unit, it's just gonna suck. So here we go. That's a 10. This is a 10 gauge. Yeah, right here. Get all these together. Oh wait, we gotta stick some heat shrink over the wire first, man. We almost got
We almost forgot about that. That ain't good.
All right, so a good heat shrink. Send that through. Go for it, brother. Yep.
Am I good?
Yep. There we go. There we go.
Ready?
Yep. All right, so she's good. That is nice and tight. Go for it, brother.
Start from the middle.
You're gonna fit the head unit back down onto this. We'll screw it all down and then we will drill. What I had to do, you're gonna have all this excess wire because you gotta remember the shaft was a lot longer, so the wire was barely long enough to actually fit with the full 18 inches that we took off of it. We're gonna wrap the wire around inside there along with this so that we can seat this and make a as tight as possible connection. And we're good. All right, nice and snug. Don't gorilla torque it. It's plastic, and if you try to do it too tight, then it's going to rip your plastic threads inside there, and that's going to be a no-go. All right, we're almost there. We've got to align the head unit with the actual motor portion.
So we mark it right there where you want it.
Yeah, we got to mark this right here where we want it. Let me see. Let me see where it's straight first. Hold on, let me stand way back here. Push it up a tad bit, a little bit more. Right there. Oh, right there. Perfect. Okay.
You want to mark the other side?
Yep. You can't skip this step right here. What we're going to do is insert this tiny little flathead into the shaft to kind of hold the wires down so that whenever we drill, it's not going to actually hit it. The nut goes, yeah, the nut locks in over here. Push that in.
Yeah. You like that?
Yeah, it's good.
There it is.
And that is it. She's completely rewired. We've got a 30-inch trolling motor shaft now. The first thing that we got to do is actually mount the bracket to the base of the trolling motor. Oh, my bad.
Like this.
All right, so the wider piece on the base is actually going to go towards the head unit. The shorter piece goes towards the prop. Okay. There we go. Right there.
Ooh, it's a little shallow. Is this backwards?
Oh, yep, we got it backwards.
Ooh, first
there
try.
We go.
First try, man. We're that good, y'all.
I got that one in. So now we can just put these side plates right back on, kind of fish that through. There we go. We'll take this hardware right here, get it inside there, use a big Phillips head. There we go.
So we were here.
Yeah.
And we're gonna take it just a quarter of an inch that way.
Push it this way.
Right there. All right.
All right. So now we're just gonna drill a hole straight through this, straight through these right here.
Holy snacks!
This is the scary part. And just take it nice and slow.
Is this one right?
Yeah. Take it nice and slow, straight center, nice and slow.
It's like killing your dog. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like.
Try not a lot of down pressure because it'll.
Some in there.
Yeah.
Tall as your road, huh?
All right,
let me get the vacuum.
Okay.
Oh man.
Here we go. Okay, so. Nice, good, clean cuts right there. We can put this down. All right, so you got that.
Now we can drill it.
This next step is really hard to explain, but I'm going to do the best that I can. Okay, we're getting ready to mount the little base plate on the skiff itself. What happens, we have sea deck foaming or padding on the skiff, and whenever we mount this down there and the hardware gets underneath, what happens is, check this out, it presses into the foam on that sea deck. And so essentially this block goes down a lot further on that foam, and when we try to put the actual base unit of the motor on it, the holes that this little lock mechanism, it's supposed to slide through there nice and easy, just like that, but the holes don't line up right here because this goes down. It gets pressed down whenever we tighten it, and this whole base plate is essentially up a little bit because you have to put pressure down on it. You don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is add 2 washers as spacers. So whenever we cinch it down, this is pressing into the sea foam. This actually stays up flush, and it makes it easier for us to lock the motor on. Let's get these flat washers right here. The locking nuts, all of this hardware is going to go down below, and you definitely want to use the fender washers because if you don't, it's going to rip right through your fiberglass. There we are. It is mounted. Now the moment of truth, we're going to take and place the actual trolling motor up on it, lock it in place, and test it out. Just like that. There it goes, nice and snug. And we're almost done with the process. We're gonna just install the prop. So we'll take a 1/2 inch wrench and remove the nut. Now we take this hardware off. This is a spacer that can come off, and you discard the red one right there. You need the stainless one, and you also need the nut that we just pulled off. The shear pin is already in here. Right there is like a little shear pin guide. You probably can't even see it. There you go. You can probably see that right there. You see that little line going through? That goes lined up with the shear pin right here. So let's make that happen. There we go. Put our washer on. Put the lock nut on. Tighten that down. Just nice and snug. You don't want to go doing some gorilla torquing style stuff right there. Nice and easy, because whenever you get some fishing line tied up inside here and you have to take it off when you're out there on the water, you don't want that thing gorilla torqued on, because when it rusts, they will tend to rust sometimes. It just makes it very difficult to get it off. So nice and snug, and everything is now assembled. All we got left to do is tend to the battery cable, these wires. These right here are basically what's inside this package, and we've got to put them on his wires right there. So we'll be right back once we get this thing taken care of and get these guys installed. We go positive right there. That's in. Now we're gonna put the negative. It's got power. We're good to go. Turn the remote on. Little check right there. Here we are. Let's see. Hit OK. The motor is stowed. Hopefully it's going to be able to read that. Bethel, here it is, brother. Let me give you the remote. We're going to deploy it.
First deploy, guys. This bad boy is going to get on the water. Yeah, going to be chasing Mark around.
All right. Push the collar down. And then we'll set this up to where we make sure that the prop doesn't actually hit. No, there we go. There we are. All right, so hold up. If you come over here, Bethel, I'm gonna show you. Yeah, we just wanna turn it. Ah, see how it's gonna hit?
It's gonna hit right there.
So we gotta lower it a little bit more. No, that's tightening. There you go. Lower it. Okay, there we go. And that's good right there. So go ahead and turn her, bro. Oh, look at that.
Baby,
yeah.
Look at that.
And it's not gonna hit.
Let's do it.
Look at that.
That's speed number 3, 4, 5.
And she's going.
She's on 10.
Oh my gosh. There we go. And it's not hitting the hole down there. We're far away from it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We got the Minn Kota right back there. Bethel's machine is set, ready to go. The Minn Kota Power Drive Riptide 55-pound thrust trolling motor, shortened the shaft to 30 inches, and now it looks like it just belongs to the skiff. Hopefully this wasn't gonna run too long. I definitely appreciate y'all tagging along to enjoy the somewhat of an adventure that we had doing this thing. Hopefully it's also gonna help y'all with a build that you might do similar to this. And yeah, it looks really nice. I mean, this thing, it's not, y'all saw it before, it was like ungodly hanging over the deck, and that thing is just spectacular. Perfect fit, looks like it definitely belongs. And that is it. Again, thanks for watching.
See y'all on the water.
Yeah, see y'all next time off the water.
All right, Mark.
Great battery.
Yeah. That's it. Let me see it.
Here you go.
All right. So hopefully it'll go bzzz. Nope, there it is.
Oh,
power on.
Power, yeah,
power on. So there it is right there. I'll figure out how to stabilize it
or something like that.
Yeah. Stabilize that bad boy. Close that up. I gotta close the door.
So if it's a bad day on the water, man, you just, who cares? Maybe the fish will start biting.
Yeah, hey, put some relaxing music, that way they daze off a little bit and then maybe bite.
Throw a little tapatio in the water.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Here we go.
Beat somebody up with this
thing right here. Thing is heavy duty.
This is now you can check your tires with it. How you like that, Mark? Heat shrink this bad boy. We're good.
Check your tires or check someone else who's trying to check your tires.
Oh, yeah, that's true.